A very good evening to all our viewers on the Papare as we bring you some rugby action here from the Racecourse International Stadium for the Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024. The final between Sri Lanka Armoured Corps taking on Gajaba Regiment here in an all tense battle in the Racecourse International Rugby Stadium. And to take you through the game, I have my co-commentator Laksisi De Silva. A very good evening to you, Laksisi.
Good evening, Reshwan, and warm welcome to everyone joining with us from all around the globe on Sri Lanka's number one sports hub, the Papare.com, as we are just moments away from the beginning of the Army Commanders Cup. So you all know the rugby action is getting all tense up here in Sri Lanka with the Dialogue Schools Rugby League coming to its business in just 3 weeks to go, and just right in between the 7th week of the tournament and the 6th week, we have this encounter happening for the illustrious Commanders Cup 2024. It's going to be a great encounter. Two very good sides, two sides that managed to win their respective groups in the first round, going against each other, and we can really expect to see a very close game. The weather forecast for the day: maximum temperature of 31. We had some rain just a few hours ago, but right now it has all cleared up. It's bright and sunny here at Racecourse, and of course the wind speed 13, and the wind is a bit strong here at Racecourse International Stadium, and it won't be that easy for the kickers if the current state of the wind continues to stay in the same way.
Indeed, Laksisi, it's going to take the kickers quite the toll here, kicking in this stadium, because the wind factor can really come into play. Just moments away, the skies have cleared up well just moments before kickoff, where the players would like to play some fast playing rugby, because when we say Army and when we talk about the rugby team, they're known for their speed. As you see the results from the knockout rounds in the Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024. In the first quarter-final, Signal Corps took on Sin Regiment, where Signal Corps just ran away with the game 73 points to nil. Then Gajaba Regiment, who made to the finals, beat Ordnance Corps 46 points to 7. Then General Services Corps beat Light Infantry 41 points to 19, and Armoured Corps beat Gajaba Regiment in quite a thriller, where Armoured Corps won that game and 19 points to 17 to secure a place in that semi-final spot. As you see the points table from the group stages, both the two finalists, Sri Lanka Armoured Corps and Gajaba Regiment, have come from the group stage with an all-win percentage, 3 out of 3 wins for both of them, where both of them finished on top of their group respectively. You see the top point scorers in the tournament thus far. Sanka Krishant from Gajaba Regiment, he will have his say in this all-important final. 44 points to his name. Gayan Salind, 41 points from Armoured Corps. He as well will have some time here in this all-important final. Kasun Bandar, 39 points from Signal Corps. From General Service Corps, it's Pradeep Victor with 34 points, and Danushka Talawat 30 points, where he played for Signal Corps. So it's been quite a high scoring tournament, but all comes down to this all important final between Gajaba Regiment and the Armoured Corps here at the Racecourse International Stadium. And the top try scorers, Kasun Bandara from Signal Corps, 7 tries under his name. And Danushka Thalawat, Signal Corps, once again 6 tries. Sajit Navaratna and Dilip Madhusanka and Samir Jailat all tied on 4 tries. But Sajit Navaratna and Dilip Madhusanka have an opportunity to go up in this top try scorers table, because they have a say in the all-important final in this inter-regiment rugby tournament 2024. And we will go into a short commercial break and come back with the starting lineups and kickoff. Stay tuned with the Papare.
Get ready to tackle greatness. The time is now. Dialogue Schools Rugby League, live on the Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Get ready to tackle greatness. The time is now. Dialogue Schools Rugby League, live on the Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
ඔයාලගේ කම්පැනි එකේ, ඔයාලගේ ක්ලබ් එකේ, ඔයාලගේ ස්කූල් එකේ යූත් එකට සෙට් වෙන ඕනම ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් The Papare TV එකෙන් මුළු ලංකාවටම පෙන්වන්න අපි ලෑස්ති. ඔයාලත් ලෑස්තිද? අපිට කතා කරන්න.
The Papare TV, The Papare TV HD, Dialogue Television නාලිකාංක 63 සහ 126 ඔස්සේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
First and exclusive.
Welcome to the ultimate game.
These people straight up stole our games.
The world will remember this day.
You are the man who gave them the power to destroy themselves.
Get this baby in the hands of every Fortune 500 executive you could find.
What do you call it?
It's called a BlackBerry.
You were straight. You can do anything you want.
I'm going back to Doug's. First and exclusive. All new on Saturdays.
Get the other engine ready.
Welcome back to the Racecourse International Stadium, everyone, as we're just a few moments away from the kickoff of the Sri Lanka Army Commanders Cup Inter-Regiment Rugby Championship 2024 final. And as you can see, the team introductions are taking place at the moment. The arrival of the chief guest, the commander of the Sri Lankan Army, Lieutenant General Vikram Lienage. The two teams are introducing the lineups to the chief guest, the commander of the Sri Lankan Army. You can see the referees being introduced to Lieutenant General Vikram Lienage. From the information that we received, the 30-member pool that played in the club rugby season, which ended just a few months ago, they are not a part of this tournament, Reshwan, because this will be their off-season. They need that time to refresh themselves before the all-important season. Last season, Army Sports Club, they had a pretty good season. They had some great players coming out, the likes of Ashan Bandara, Sudarga Dikubra. They played exceptionally well in that season. and some of them earned Sri Lanka national call-ups as well. So this is a tournament to set the base to find the next generation of players to the Army Sports Club in the upcoming years. So this is an important tournament when we talk about the whole context of Sri Lanka rugby as well, because the Army Sports Club, they play a huge part in the whole development and the setup of Sri Lanka rugby.
Indeed, Luxi, they have beautiful facilities as well down in Panagoda Army Camp as well. Pre-game formalities being done here. Lads in white will be Armored Corps. The lads in yellow will be Gajaba Regiment. Glad to see the sun creeping out through the clouds just a couple of minutes ago, maybe half an hour. We had some showers during the warm-ups, but good to see the sun beating down here at the International Stadium, Racecourse International Stadium. Both set of players will want the rains to stay out of the 80 minutes rather. done with the pre-game formalities, as both teams are pumped and ready to go at it. These inter-regiment games can be quite intense. As you see, the Gajaba Regiment having the last few tactics being spoken out. The lads in yellow. As you see, the Gajaba Regiment starting 15, Suchit Chaturanga, Danush Eranda, Dilip Madhusanka, Supun Madhuranga, Danushka Piris, Gayana Kulatunga, Isuru Lakshita and Sandaruan Rajesh Singh will form the forwards, and in the backs it will be Chanuka Delshan in that halfback position, Sanika Krishant, Samira Disanayaka, Prasanna Manjula, Viduranga Prasanna, Lakshan Pereira and Thilina Jailat will form the starting 15 for the lads in yellow. And the replacements, Ratnayaka Adhikari, Tisara Atukoral, Pathirana, Madhushanka Kalpana and Vijay Singh will be the replacements for the Gajaba Regiment. Captained by Isuru Lakshita, as you saw on our screens, in that number 6 jersey.
And the position in this final, Sri Lanka Armoured Corps, their forwards Dilip Niroshan, Samira Bandara, Danuka Vijay Tilaka, the vice captain Ruan Chaturanga, Tarun Varnasurya, Dinusha Madhushanka, Pulla Beratna, the skipper Vinod Kumara, and their backs Dulan Sampat, Gayan Salinda, Sajit Navaratna, Ruchira Lakshan, Yasas Buddhiga, Tarun Madhushan and Lahiru Abe Segar. The replacements, Atanayaka Madhushanka, Sitmina, Javir Madhuranga, Chaturanga, Tatsara and Nishanta. Both the teams are being involved in the final warm-ups before the kickoff of the Army Commanders Cup final, the Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024. As I mentioned earlier, these two teams managed to win their groups, and they managed to overcome the odds in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. So right now, the last two teams remaining after 14 teams clashed against each other. About 15 teams clashed against each other in the tournament, and only 2 are remaining at the moment.
Referee Ravin Alexander will be the main official for this inter-regiment tournament final 2024, as quite experience with the whistle for Alexander, and he will be assisted by Gihan Kavind and Jivaka Fonseca. Well, and surely the atmosphere and sound around the Racecourse Stadium is building up to this all-important final of the Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024. Looks like it will be the Armoured Corps to kick things off from right to left on your screen. And game is on as the kick does not go according to plan for the lads in white armoured corps. Kicked out on the full, so it will be a centre field scrum in favour of the Gajaba Regiment. Not the ideal start for armoured corps. It's not what you want when you start off a final, Laksasi.
As indeed, Rashwan, not the best of ways to start an all-important final. But It's going to be a scrum at the halfway mark.
Steady scrum as the number 8 breaks, gives it to the halfback. Gives it to the wingers as he's bundled into touch. The number 15 jersey for the Armoured Corps. Will be a line out in favor of the Corps. Good line out done neatly as Armoured Corps working the line. Using the big forwards to gain some meters. This will go over into the boot. A good kick. Brilliant kick. Probably a 50-22. Yes, indeed, a brilliant kick from Salind in that number 10 jersey. Kicks that into touch. A beautiful 50-22 to gain some momentum for the Armoured Corps here. They didn't have the ideal starts to the game, but fortunes have changed for them inside the opponent's 22. Earlier out, their line out was neat and tidy. Second time running, good line out as they form the driving maul. Halfback using his big forwards. Good defense coming in from Gajaba Regiment as well. Big thumping tackles as Salind gives it out to number 22. Desperate defense as the ball is in the loose, but looks like that was a forward pass, but referee Alexander will go back to the initial advantage being played in favor of the Armoured Corps. Not rolling away, says referee Alexander. What will the decision be by the Armoured Corps? They have the option of going into touch. It looks like they are going to the posts. Can be quite the ambitious move as Salind in that number 10 jersey has opted to go for points here. Had a brilliant kick from that halfway mark to that 22 as Salind. Opportunity for him to get the points, break the deadlock rather, in this all-important final. Gayan Salind with the boot. Not successful. Nevertheless, it will be a 22-meter dropout for Gajaba Regiment.
The early opportunity for Armoured Corps to take the lead in this final. Unfortunately, Salind was unable to kick it through. Now, inside their own 22, from their own 22, Gajaba Regiment, the opportunity to get out of this red zone. The ball doesn't bounce much because of the rain. Very wet underfoot conditions here at Racecourse. It's going to be a line out in favor of Gajaba Regiment, I suppose. Did he manage to find touch? In fact, it was a knock forward from the Armoured Corps player. So Gajaba Regiment with a scrum just inside their own half.
Probably second opportunity from that scrum for Gajaba Regiment to get some position, but kicks it as 22 gives it out to Salind, who is absolutely a turnover ball as Regiment, Gajaba Regiment suddenly in attack, but another turnover. Ahmed Cobbs will want to kick this out. Salind with the boot. Good kick, but Gajaba Regiment, beautiful step there. As Gajaba Regiment haven't seen much them with possession in this opening 7 minutes. But once again an opportunity for Ahmed Cobbs to gain some meters as Salind opts to go for touch here. He wasn't successful with the boot to add the points. This time out a decent touch find, something to work out for the forwards from the Ahmed Cobbs.
The two teams are still trying to get those first points of the day. It will be really important to both the teams to get that first points of this all-important final. It will give them a big psychological advantage. The throw into the scrum was okay for them, but from the rolling ball that they tried to start up, they unfortunately couldn't get the momentum there.
It's been quite the stop-start affair here at the Racecourse International Stadium for this Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024 final. Both these teams have had a dominant run of play in this tournament to make this quite the mouth-watering clash, as the number 8 of Gajaba Regiment breaks, gives it out to his second row flanker, but a penalty being won, quickly taken by the Gajaba Regiment, gaining some meters. Can they break the deadlock here? Beautiful string of passes. A desperate defense coming in from Ahmed Cobbs as a turnover ball. Looks like a knock-on infringement going against the Gajaba Regiment. So an opportunity once again for Ahmed Cobbs to clear this ball upfield. Second time running. There have been defense having some defending to do, but managed to turn over possession as decent scrum as Salind, a high hanging kick. A decent amount of meters being won. Nevertheless, a line out in favor of the lads in yellow, the Gajaba Regiment. Yet to stamp the authority in the game. They will want to take use of the advantage from this line out. It will be Danush Randa. A good line out throw from him. The high hanging kick, a deep kick. Ball secured by Ahmed, but Ahmed Cobbs They return the favor, but full out one as this will be a line out in favor of Gajaba Regiment because that was kicked out on the full. Cardinal mistake by the fullback from the Armored Corps in that number 22 jersey, if I'm not mistaken, Lairove Segra. Not getting that kick right. And suddenly they have defending to do in their own 22. Looks like Gajaba Regiment will go in for a short line out throw. Tanush Randa will be given the responsibility with the line out throw. A slight held up. So one of the players being assisted by the doctor. Protocols being taken place. As you see, the concussion test looks like he has passed it. The halfback from the Gajaba Regiment, Chanuka Dilshan. The lads will want the ranks of Chanuka Dilshan to carry on. He has been having a decent start to the game as Eranda. Not the best of line outs. The gathering was not good, but and a knock on, a forward pass rather, but referee Alexander will go to the initial knock on infringement by Gajaba Regiment. So a scrum in favor of the Armored Corps inside their own 22. The forwards of Gajaba Regiment won't feel too bad of it. They can counteract this and turn over this ball courtesy through the scrum. I think they are in for an opportunity to go over the whitewash. Decent feed in once again as Salind, a high hanging kick. Not getting much meters, but clears out a line out in favor of the Gajaba Regiment. Run with the line out throw once again, quite clumsy in it, but both teams being floppy here. Initial knock on infringement from the Gajaba Regiment results in a scrum in favor of the Armored Corps. Plenty of handling errors. Lux is in this all important final. I think the conditions are to play for it.
Armored Corps and Gajaba Regiment, both the teams are in the final after playing so well throughout the tournament. But here in the final, both the teams making a lot of mistakes, a lot of handling errors. And so far, for both the teams, nothing has gone according to the plan. Goes for a little kick and chase, but good collection, good recovery from the Gajaba Regiment player. With possession, Gajaba Regiment goes for a little kick, the halfback for Gajaba Regiment, Chanuka Dilshan. Was a good chase, managed to put a lot of pressure on the Armored Corps player who made the collection. The forwards joining in, acting as the halfback as well there. Almost another fumble, but luckily lost the ball backwards while trying to execute that pass. A high hanging kick, very well collected by Sanuka Krishant from Gajaba Regiment. the ball doesn't bounce here, as I mentioned earlier as well, because of the wet underfoot conditions at the Racecourse International Stadium. And as Gajaba Regiment once again going for the kick and chase option, but it continues to go for the kick. The two teams, it's an exchange of kicks at the moment between the two teams at the moment. Now finally opting to go for the space, but the referee Ravin Alexander blows his whistle, and that's a little word with his assistant.
So Alexander having a word with his assistants. Unfortunately, we don't have likes of hearing the conversation out there between the assistant and the players. Looks like it will be Ahmed Corps who opt to kick this into touch in that number 10 jersey. It will be Gajaba Regiment rather who opts that kick into touch. Sanuka Krishant, vice captain for the lads in yellow, the deputy for Lakshita Isuru. A short line out as the driving maul of the Gajaba Regiment just going sideways. Good defensive work coming in from the Armoured Corps, trying their best to turn over this ball, but Gajaba Regiment once again opt to go with the forwards. Entering the 22 meters of the Armoured Corps, face after face for the lads in yellow.
Gajaba Regiment making inroads deep into the Armoured Corps territory here for the first time, but unfortunately didn't support his body weight while supporting the ball carrier. Crucial mistake, a cardinal error from Gajaba Regiment, as Armoured Corps, they get the ball back, they get the possession, an opportunity to get out of their own 22.
A brilliant touch find courtesy the boot of Gayan Salinder. He's been decent with the boot for the lads in white. A sight of relief for Armoured Corps. They have been doing the bulk of defense for the last few minutes. An opportunity for them to launch an attack of their own from this line out. Not the best of line outs as ball has been turned over. So Gajaba kicks it straight into the number 21.
They decide to take it quickly, Armoured Corps. That was Yasas Buddhika. There's Gajaba Regiment. Now that's a good run, a strong run from Suchit Chaturanga. Managing to overpower 2 or 3 defenders from the Armoured Corps. Now, Gajaba Regiment, they have had some momentum in the last few minutes. They have managed to make inroads into the Armored Corps territory. They need to make sure that they get to the 22-meter territory as soon as possible and make sure that they don't give the possession away. Trying to work the ball out wide from left to right, Gajaba Regiment. Chanuka Dilshan gives the ball out to Danushka Piris. Okay, Sandru and Rajasinghe, that was who received the ball from the halfback. Here's Dilshan going for the kick. The chase is on, but calls marked straight away. The fullback for Sri Lanka Armored Corps, Abesekara, Lairu Abesekara. So still no points on the board for both the teams as we are nearing the 20th minute mark of the Armed Commanders Cup 2024 final, the grand final of the Inter-Regional Rugby Tournament. Takes the tap, gives the pass out to Salinda as he goes for the kick. Strange option from Sri Lanka Armored Corps. They took the tap and then went for the kick in to touch. Really should have gone on for the territory gaining option.
That has resulted in them giving the ball back to the Gajaba Regiment. Good line out from Erand. As the Gajaba Regiment try to find some space. Thumping tackles. Small chip in kick. Abe Sekar secures that ball. It's Armored Corps. Thumping tackle once again on Gayan Salinda there. As Gayan Salinda puts a high hanging kick. Looks like Gajaba Regiment will return the favour. Opting to go for this kicking option because of the conditions here at the Racecourse Stadium. Slightly muddy and wet conditions, and just as I say that, the ball has been dropped like a bar of soap. Because it's not easy. We had showers throughout of yesterday and showers in the morning session as well.
It's going to be a scrum in favor of the Armored Corps. Sampath. Dulan Sampath with the feed in for Sri Lanka Armored Corps. Trying to work their line here. Brilliant passing from the Armored Corps. They enter the 22-meter territory, almost enter the 22-meter territory of Gajaba Regiment. Now the referee making sure that the Gajaba Regiment players maintain their distance, and the mistakes keep on happening from both the sides in this final. That's why the scoreline is 0-0 at the moment, because both the teams, whenever they were building up some momentum, made some cardinal errors which gave the ball back. The two teams, they need to try and keep possession as much as possible, be a bit more patient and try to do things rather slowly than trying to be a bit extravagant from the word go. So Gajaba Regiment it's going to be a line out in favor of the Gajaba Regiment. Danush Erand with the throw in goes for the short line out. Yes, Chanuka Dilshan gives the ball out once again from left to right. Gajaba Regiment making some good meters there from the line out. Once again, still they keep on pushing towards that right hand side of the field. Yes, Chanuka Dilshan once again tries to break that line of defense. Suchit Chaturanga now from right to left this time, and a good tackle, a thumping tackle, but the ball went backwards. Gives the offload out. Luckily, the player, although he couldn't gather it cleanly, he didn't knock the ball forward. And once again, possession back with Armored Corps as Gajaba Regiment. They give away some good possession they managed to gain in the last few minutes.
It's been quite the stop-start affair here. It's opening 24 minutes or so. Both teams are yet to break the deadlock. Only opportunity, clear cutout opportunity came to the Armored Corps, where they opted to go for the 3 points, but Gayan Salind was not successful with the boot on that occasion. Since then, it's been a very stop-start affair here at the Racecourse International Stadium. Nevertheless, Gayan Salind opts to kick this into touch. A decent touch finder for Armored Corps. They haven't had the best day with the lineouts. They will want this lineout to come out well for them. And once again, the line out not going Armored Corps' way, not straight this time out. So a scrum in favor of Gajaba Regiment. The lineouts have well and surely have taken the game, the momentum which the Armored Corps create have been shifted away from them. Nevertheless, the Gajaba Regiment feeds in the scrum. The number 8 gives it out to the halfback. Gives it out to the back line, who goes into that thumping tackle. But referee Alexander once again whistles for a penalty for the Armored Corps as Gayan Salind opt for the points. An opportunity for them to break the deadlock here. It's quite in the middle, so has a good boot in him. He'll fancy his chances to break the deadlock here. Kicking with the wind as he has an advantage there. Will it be Gayan Salind to add the all-important first points in this inter-regiment rugby tournament final 2024? Salind wasn't successful the first time out, but has an opportunity in the 27th minute to go 3 points up here. Salind with the boot, successful this time around for the Armored Corps as they break the deadlock courtesy Salind's boot.
Armored Corps getting that lead in this all-important final. The Army Commanders Cup Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024. Finally, we have some points on the board in this final. and it's Ahmed Corps who managed to get the first points of the game on the 27th minute. Salind kicking it through. Here's the restart kick from Gajaba Regiment. Goes deep into the half of Ahmed Corps. And straight away goes for the kick into touch. We're seeing a lot of kicking from both the sides in this final so far. A lot of back and forth kicking. Mainly due to the wet underfoot conditions. They have been a bit reluctant to work the lines, especially Ahmed Corps. They have not taken that risk. Although Gajaba Regiment, they tried a few times to work the ball from left to right or from right to left. But Sri Lanka Ahmed Corps, they have been very, very reluctant to go for that tactic.
Indeed, Gajaba Regiment will want to respond quickly. As once again a clean line out from the lads in yellow. Work that line, not the best of passes, quite the messy one, but secures the ball. Works this ball well as Gajaba Regiment breaks through the defense, and looks like it will be the halfback who gained some meters but just been tackled, and it's like a knock-on infringement going Gajaba Regiment's way as well.
Danushka Peiris with that initial break gained a lot of meters and gave the offload out right on time to Chanuka Dilshan, but unfortunately the ball forward, and it was a good tackle by Bandara for Ahmed Corps. Samira Bandara with that try-saving tackle for Ahmed Corps. So it's still 3 points to nil in favour of the Ahmed Corps. Just a few seconds short of the 30th minute mark according to our clock. So still anyone's game at the moment here at the Racecourse International Rugby Stadium. Just 3 points separating the two sides. Gajaba Regiment yet to begin their account or to open their account in this all-important final. Ahmed Corps just a couple of minutes to go managed to kick that penalty through. So everything to play for here at the Racecourse International Stadium.
Indeed, Laksisi. A scrum in a very dangerous position. Ahmed Corps will want to get this out of their own 22. Gajaba Regiment was very close to go over the whitewash, but that defensive tackle from Ahmed Corps was good enough as Salind kicks that out, but not gathered cleanly as beats two defensive Ahmed Corps players, but looks like the ball has been turned over. Working that ball with the forwards is the lads in white. Kick being charged down.
So Gan Salind going for the territory gainer, just as enough legs to go into touch. He manages to take his team over the halfway mark into the Gajaba Regiment territory. Now Gajaba Regiment, they'll be very, very eager to get some points on the board. They wouldn't want to go into half time without any points on the board in a game like this.
Indeed, Laksisi. Gajaba Regiment have had opportunities to go over the whitewash, but good defensive efforts of the Armored Corps have denied them, but this time out as well, not getting the line out right. Not straight, says referee Alexander. In the number 18 jersey for the Armored Corps, Dilip Niroshan, this time the culprit. half-time here at the Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament Final 2024. Ahmed Corps taking the lead courtesy Gayan Salinders to penalty kicks with the boot as the half-time as both teams go into the half-time break with plenty of tactics to be spoken over, especially Gajaba Regiment. As you see, the half-time score confirmation: Ahmed Corps 6, Gajaba Regiment yet to get off the mark, yet to break the deadlock for them in the game. As we will go into a short commercial break and be back with the second half action of this Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament Final 2024.
Get ready to tackle greatness. The time is now. Dialogue Schools Rugby League, live on the Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
What would you do for the biggest payoff of your life?
All I need is big money.
Use brute strength to win at all costs.
No anesthetic. Ever donated bone marrow before?
Use your own body to atone for sins. Sweet. Use mental brilliance to make big money.
3, 2.
Or use multiple perspectives to save a life.
Need to count.
Join in the hunt for the win this July on Hits Movies every Sunday.
In my domain, got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over before you know it. Why you shaking? We're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory. Yeah, we've waited for our time to come, calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing one. Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you. Can I get a hell yeah? Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine.
July, Bogey Party full on.
Get ready.
From biggest blockbusters to endless celebration.
Music on kare.
And experience the magic of the most iconic jodis of Bollywood.
I'm impressed.
We have it all.
Best.
For number one entertainment, you know whom to rely on. So join the celebrations. Jubilant July. Only on Star Gold.
The enemy usurped my throne.
We're going to King's Landing.
This senseless war must end.
She'll never prevail.
Not like this.
House of the Dragon Season 2.
දැන් රිදී ටීවී නාලිකා වෙතින් ජයරත්න ගලගෙදර ඉදිරිපත් කරන බයිස්කෝප් කතා වැඩසටහන. ඔබ කැමති චිත්‍රපටයේ රසවත්ම කතා අහන්නට බලන්නට ඩයලොග් ටීවී නාලිකා අංක 18 රිදී ටීවී ඔස්සේ දැන් සෑම සෙනසුරාදාකම සවස් 5:30ට බයිස්කෝප් කතා.
ඉන්දීය ක්‍රිකට් කණ්ඩායමේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා තරග
Welcome back to the live pictures here from the Racecourse International Stadium. We're bringing you the live action here from the Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament Final 2024. It's been quite the tussle between Gajaba Regiment and the Armoured Corps in that first half. And I'm sure the second half won't disappoint. Just the 6 points, the difference here, courtesy Gayan Salinder's boot with the 2 penalty kicks, which is successfully converted both. He missed one earlier on in the game, but the other 2 opportunities he got, he notched both of them through the post to give the Armoured Corps the lead going into the second half. On the other hand, Gajaba Regiment are yet to break the deadlock in this all-important final as they kick things off from right to left on your screens.
Six points to nil, and it's going to be a line out very early in the second half for Armoured Corps. Once again goes for the short line out, as the longer throws have been a bit disappointing for the Armoured Corps in this game so far. The short line out throws have gone well for them, and holding on, says the referee. An opportunity for Gajaba Regiment to insert some pressure on the Armoured Corps very early in the second half, just outside the 22-meter line of the opposition. Gajaba Regiment with a golden opportunity. It looks like they will try to go for the stage regainer and then go for the line out, but no. Instead, just at the last moment, they decide to go for the scrum. Maybe a bit hesitant to go for the stage regainer and then the line out, because Gajaba Regiment, they have not been that consistent with the line outs as well. But here with this scrum, they just need to make sure that they get the ball out right and try to gain the remaining 25 meters. The remaining 25 to 30 meters. Can they gain those meters after the scrum. Gajaba Regiment, they're trailing by 6 points. They were unable to get any points in the first half, and that's a knock forward. A costly error from the Gajaba Regiment, number 5, Sandaruan Rajasinghe.
That mistake can really hurt Gajaba outfit here. Gajaba Regiment really had an opportunity to threaten the defense of the Armoured Corps. It's like Gajaba Regiment will have to do a whole heap of hard work to get back into this game. They're just one score away, nevertheless. One converted try can give them the lead here. Armoured Corps haven't done well with the lineouts, but this time round they have got a decent one as a thumping tackle. But the forwards opting to go face by face here. Good distribution from the back line of these Armoured Corps. Advantage being played. Referee Alexander says not rolling away as Gayan Salinder will kick this ball into touch. Been marked by the Gajaba Regiment, but he opted to go, so he cannot mark it. Good distribution from the halfback to his forwards. Well and surely gaining meter by meter through face by face. But the defense of Gajaba Regiment up to it as well. Once again opting to go with the forwards. In muddy conditions like this, that's the best tactic to use. Because we saw plenty of handling errors in that opening half. Nevertheless, beautiful hands from the Armoured Corps. Gives it out to the speedster in that number 23 jersey. Sajit Navaratna gains some meters as halfback Dulan Sampath with a good distribution, but high tackle infringement going Gajaba's way after that knock-on infringement. Saka and Salin just meters out from being taken quickly. I think foxed everyone. Thought he was going for that touch finder, but a quick tap being taken. Just meters away from the whitewash. A try yet to be scored here in this all-important final, but I think the wait will continue as the ball has been turned over. Gajaba Regiment, they were decent with their lineouts, but yet to find An opportunity to go over the whitewash.
Gajaba Regiment, they need to get this line out right. Goes for a long throw and gets it wrong once again. Not a straight throw, says the referee. So Armored Corps, they get a scrum just outside the 22-meter line of the Gajaba Regiment. Now they have an opportunity. Gajaba Regiment, they need to be careful to not concede a penalty from here, because that will put Armored Corps in a 9-point lead, which means Gajaba Regiment, they'll have to score twice. They'll have to score a converted try and a penalty at least, or a drop goal, to get the lead back. So they need to make sure they don't make any mistakes here. Goes for a lovely inside pass, the halfback. Now inside the 22-meter territory, around 15 meters away from the whitewash. Armored Corps against the Gajaba Regiment defenders trying to go deep into the opposition territory. The forwards joining in with the line. Here's the halfback, gives the ball out to the fly half. That's a lovely pass, needs to give the ball out, good collection, and that will be the first try of this final. Armored Corps getting the first try. That was the number 21, Madhushan from Armored Corps, who gets the first try of this final. Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024 Grand Final. The first try. Yes, the replay. Brilliantly done. That offload was magnificent while getting tackled. He was going down when he gave the offload out to number 22. That was the fullback Abhesekara, Livelu Abhesekara, and Abhesekara gave the pass out to Madhushan, and he made sure he didn't do any mistakes there to go all the way. Brilliantly done, and that's the first try. Tarin the Madhushan scoring the try for Armored Corps as they take 11-point lead, and with a successful conversion here, they can increase it up to 13.
Well and surely Gajaba Regiment have their work cut out, as Kayan Salind with the opportunity to add the 2 points. Not successful this time out, as the score will remain at 11 points to nil, and Gajaba Regiment have a mountain to climb from here on. They have to score twice if they are to get the lead for their name. They yet to get off the mark as well in this final, and approaching the 50th minute mark. Gajaba Regiment haven't been at their best in this Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024 final. Quite the elated outfit, Armored Corps, when Tarin the Madhushan went over the whitewash. It took 49 minutes in this final for a team to score a try, and nevertheless it has come as Gajaba Regiment will restart things here. Good high hanging kick, waits for that bounce, gathers cleanly, but and Salinder returning the favor, kicks it out on the full, as you once again see that try from Tarin the Madhushan in that number 21 jersey. It was a collective effort from the Armored Corps to go for that whitewash. Gajaba Regiment will want to get this line out right. They will want to pounce back fast. Can't leave it up to too late. But the defense of Armored Corps really cramping up the players of the Gajaba Regiment. But a penalty goes against them as an opportunity for the Armored Corps probably kick this into touch.
Now, that's an interesting call from Armored Corps once again, trying to go for the long side of the ground from that penalty.
Laksisi, I'm sure you have watched plenty of rugby games. You often don't see that move from kickers. Quite ambitious from Gajan Salinder.
Yeah, indeed. Probably I have never seen that, I think, but they have managed to get the ball back, right back at where they kicked the ball, where they received the penalty. Now, Armored Corps on the attack, lost the ball. Is that a knock forward? Yes, I think the assistant spotted that knock forward. And Gajaba Regiment, they get the ball back, but they have failed to go deep into the Armored Corps territory. That has been their issue throughout this encounter, and whenever they look good and whenever they were building up momentum, they unfortunately have given the ball back to the Armored Corps most of the time with an unforced error.
Indeed, another scrum in favor of the Gajaba Regiment. Like making some changes. Is the team cruising in this all-important final, bringing on some fresh legs in that forward pack. Dinush Madhushana makes his way for Dimutu Chaturanga. A neat scrum, but high-hanging kick gathered cleanly as the replacement gets his first share of the rugby ball, as once again the Armored Corps going with the forwards, but Gajan Stalin, the beautiful kick once again. Got that 50-22 in that opening a few minutes, as quite isolated are the Gajaba Regiment players, but still manages to secure that ball, as they will want to kick this ball upfield, but they opt to go with the forwards. Quite ambitious in conditions like this. Ball can be turned over, but working that line is the Gajaba Regiment. Can he find space? Good defense coming in from the Armored Corps. Gajaba Regiment trying to run their way from their own 22. As a kick, good collection by Salind. This is good from the Armored Corps, really patient, going with the forwards. As another line offside infringement going Gajaba Regiments going against the Gajaba Regiment, so looks like Gajan Salinder will once again opt for the posts. Yes, he has. It's in his range, and an opportunity for the Armored Corps to give a substantial lead of 14 points. That makes Gajaba Regiment's work quite the mountain to climb for them. They'll have to score 2 converted tries if Gayan Salinder converts this penalty. Had a decent day with the boot. Out of the 4 kicks he has attempted with the kicking tee, 2 have been successful. Can he get the third one out here? And just like that, he gets a third kick successful. Gayan Salinder, courtesy the kicking tee, as Ahmed Corps increase their lead 14 points to nil. And Gajaba Regiment have a whole heap of work to do here in the next 25 minutes. $14 points to nil. Gajaba Regiment have their work cut out here.
Now they have fallen back a bit too much in this game now. Almost an opportunity for Gajaba Regiment, but the referee will go back to the knock forward from the Armoured Corps. Now Gajaba Regiment, they need to do something really quickly to bounce back into this grand final. They're trailing by 14 points. They have not yet scored a single point in this all-important final, so they need to make sure they score some points very, very quickly. They have 25 more minutes to go. 25 are very valuable minutes to go in this final for Gajaba Regiment. Can they mount a comeback against the Armoured Corps? So number 12 for Gajaba Regiment, Prasanna Manjula, shown the blue card. So that means he will go out because of an injury, and he can return back to the game later, but not quite sure whether that would be an option with just 24 minutes to go in this final of the Army Commanders Cup Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024. Now, Chanuka Dilshan, an important scrum for Gajaba Regiment when we talk about the whole context of this final. They're trailing by 14. They need a try here. A converted try will be a lot better for them, but some points on the board here. The number 5 tries to go by himself from the scrum. The forwards trying to gain meter by meter, getting closer to that whitewash, but the Armoured Corps defense, they stand strong. They hold their ground. They won't let Gajaba Regiment go through that easily. Gajaba Regiment, it's really, really important that they keep the ball with them. They can't afford to do mistakes. They can't afford to do handling errors from this moment onwards because they're trailing by 14 points, and it will take a lot of effort for them to make a comeback. And unfortunately, just like that, just what I mentioned earlier, they have given the ball back to Armoured Corps. They were just around 10 meters away from the whitewash, but unfortunately, once again, an opportunity gone begging for Gajaba Regiment.
Gajaba Regiment have all to blame for their performance here in this all-important final. And after the game, going back, they will be kicking themselves where they couldn't pounce on scoring opportunities. Had an opportunity to get back into this game, but just mistakes running them down. An opportunity for Gajaba Regiment to try to turn over this ball, because Ahmed Corps haven't been at their best with the line out throws. This time out, Ahmed Corps with a good line out. Well and surely they have the momentum in the game. They'll want to close this out as we head to the final 20 minutes of the game. As beautiful pass, but looks like that will be a high tackle going against the Gajaba Regiment. Looks like referee Alexander will go back to that high tackle infringement, but before that he will assist the player. Looks like that will he will need a replacement coming in. Ahmed Corps won't mind this. I think they can find themselves in a good place in this all-important final, because Gajaba Regiment have quite the mountain to climb. 2 converted tries are needed for them, and that's not enough as well. The 2 converted tries will just draw level peg things here, so a lot of work cut out for the lads in yellow. Like the Ahmed Corps lad will be carried out. Not what you want to see in a game of rugby, and in a game of rugby in this caliber, with all in stake. Hope he recovers soon, but his time in the finals is done. But we'll be happy with the performance he has put here, because Ahmed Corps are quite in a demanding position in this inter-regiment rugby tournament final 2024. A good touch finder courtesy Gayan Salin there as well. So just meters away from the whitewash. Will the Ahmed Corps go over for the second time? Again, a good line out. They had some difficulties in that line out in that opening half, but in this second half they have corrected that mistake and come out on top with the line outs, as the Ahmed Corps is meters away, advantage being played to them. Meters out as Quick tap being taken. Desperate defense coming in from Gajaba Regiment. Has he gone over the whitewash? But looks like that's held up. Referee Alexander confirms it as well. As desperate defensive work coming in from the lads in yellow. A goal line drop kick, but not the best of kicks from the Gajaba Regiment.
So Gajaba Regiment still trailing by 14 points in this all-important final. They had their chances, Gajaba Regiment, but they just couldn't finish the job. They failed to at the finishing touches in all the opportunities that they have received in this final so far. And from the current look of things, it looks like time is running out for them in this final, as Armored Corps, they have been good. They have made sure to get the points. They have made sure to finish what they have started in this final so far. A try and 3 penalties that they have managed to kick through. And they have been very good. They have been very disciplined when it comes to defending inside their own half. Armored Corps, that has been one of the key differences between these two sides in this final. So Gajaba Regiment, 16 minutes to go on our clock, trailing by 14 points. They'll need at least 2 converted tries to make this a tied encounter. But from the look of things, from how they have played so far, that looks highly unlikely.
Indeed, Laksisi, the way things have been going on for the lads in yellow, coming back into this game is quite the daunting task ahead of them. A decent touch finder, but if Gajaba Regiment come back into this game, they will have to score soon and quickly, as the clock is well and surely running against them. "15 minutes or so left in the game. Plenty of time to get back into it. But the way things are going on for the lads in yellow, not the ideal time for them. But good thumping tackle coming in from to the try scorer. Looks like a knock on infringement. So a scrum in favor of Gajaba Regiment.
So Gajaba Regiment getting close to that 22-meter line of the Armored Corps. Can they make something out of this move that they have managed to create? They need a break here. They need a good break. Now here they are working their line. Almost finds the gap. They need to be quick here. Gajaba Regiment, they don't have much time to waste. And almost a collision between the two players. Now shifting their attention from left to right. They need some good passing here. Need some good quick passing, and that's a knock forward. Another costly mistake from the Gajaba Regiment. That has been the story of this game so far. Whenever they had an opportunity, whenever they had the opportunity to mount pressure on the Armoured Corps, they have failed to do so. Disappointing, very, very disappointing for the Gajaba Regiment. These handling errors have costed them quite a lot in this final.
Indeed, Laksisi. I think the conditions as well are not helping the players. Had some showers prior to the game, and the whole of yesterday as well. It was raining in Colombo, so the ground is quite wet and muddy. Slight held up in play. Like we're ready once again to restart things as Gajaba Regiment up to the post here. An opportunity for them to get some points and get some momentum back in their way to probably get back into this game, courtesy the boot of Sanuka Krishanta, deputy of Lakshadweep Isuru, has an opportunity with his left foot to add the first points for Gajaba Regiment. Didn't get the power needed as Gajaba Regiment will remain with 0 points as they are yet to get off the mark here. Gajaba Regiment bringing on some fresh legs to see off this game and probably find some fortune in it, as you see the replay of that penalty kick which wasn't successful from the boot of Sanuka Krishanta, as a replacement player Samantha Adhikari comes on to the Gajaba Regiment. as courtesy that line out as launched that driving maul, but beautiful counter attack coming in from Armored Corps. But ball yet secured by the Gajaba Regiment. Gajaba Regiment have had high scoring games coming into this final. They beat Signal Corps, if I'm not mistaken, in that quarter final game. 76 points they notched down, but this time out they haven't been at their best. But yet an opportunity. They score here, but no ball has been turned over. Holding on, says referee Alexander, as a tap on the back for that forward replacement forward player of the Armored Corps, as a ball has been secured, as Gayan Salinder will kick this into touch.
We're into the last 10 minutes according to our clock here at the Racecourse International Stadium. Armored Corps still with the lead, 14 points to nil, as they bring in some fresh legs for the last few minutes, the home stretch of this final. They know they have the game under control. They know they're calling the shots here. Gajaba Regiment, for them it's a race against time. Can they win that race against time? Can they do something special? Can they pull out something special just at the end to steal this title away from Armored Corps, who have been good so far this encounter? And once again a knock forward. So Armored Corps, they continue to get the advantages, they continue to get possession. Gajaba Regiment, it has been a disappointing final for them so far. Too many handling errors, too many unforced errors in this encounter. They have only themselves to blame for the final result, which looks very inevitable for them.
Indeed, Laksasi, they have quite the mountain to climb, and Armored Corps, on the other hand, just have to manage to see off this game. Salinder once again, a high hanging kick, but drops it like a bar of soap. But knocked back, he has knocked it on, as referee Alexander awards a scrum in favour of Armored Corps. Armored Corps halfback feeds in the scrum. Neat scrum as he gives it out to Gayan Salinder. Salinder to the backs. They orchestrated that first try, courtesy a move like that. Looks like the ball has been turned over. Can the lads in yellow get a score here? A consolation one, they will be thinking. Looks like the Armored Corps can find themselves in a comfortable situation now as we head to the business end of the game. An opportunity for Gajaba Regiment to launch an attack, but they have lost position courtesy that line out. Armored Corps have been doing all things right here. Haven't had much say in this game for the lads in yellow. Beautiful evening out here in Colombo, Racecourse International Stadium. Not so beautiful for the lads in yellow, as they get that line out correct. Beautifully worked play, as can they launch a score opportunity here as we head into the final few minutes of the 80 minutes. Referee's clock is the right time. Nevertheless, here goes Gajaba Regiment, looking impressive now, as can they go over the whitewash, gaining some meters. Good play for the lads in yellow. And has Armored Corps managed to turn that ball over? Yes, they have. It's impressive work once again, but the clearance kick not finding much meters, but advantage being played for Gajaba Regiment for that high tackle infringement. Advantage still being played on for Gajaba Regiment. They have to go over the whitewash, but the defense of the Armored Corps really up to it, as referee Alexander goes back to that high tackle infringement. Fancy a card coming out. It's been a well-disciplined game between both sides. Referee Alexander hasn't had the opportunity to go into the books, but this time out looks like he is going into the books for that high tackle infringement. Yes, that's a yellow card for the lone try scorer in this final. Tarind Madhushan will spend the rest of the game in the naughty chair. Looks like the Gajaba Regiment have opted for a quick tap, taken quickly. They'll be searching for that consolation score here, but Armored Corps things otherwise, bundled into touch, opted to go from that short side, but that tactic not working their way. Not the best of lineouts once again from the Armored Corps. They haven't had the best day with their lineouts, but that knock-on infringement have given them an opportunity with this scrum to get out of jail. and probably see this game off without conceding a score here. That's quite remarkable from the lads in white to not concede in a high octane final. High hanging kick as Gajaba Regiment just going through the phases. Probably try to find a consolation score here, as Armored Corps can find themselves that they have put this game into bed.
So Gajaba Regiment, one last throw of the dice to score a consolation try. Gives the ball out, tries to cut back inside, and he knocks the ball forward, but the referee Ravin Alexander will take them back to the initial advantage point for Gajaba Regiment. Gajaba Regiment, an opportunity for them to score a try for their pride in this grand final against the Armored Corps. Trying to go by himself and push back fiercely by the Armored Corps defensive line. 14 points to nil the scoreline, ladies and gentlemen. Armored Corps, it's fair to say they have secured their championship. Almost managed to steal the ball there. And that's another yellow card. So Armored Corps playing with just 13 men in the last few phases of this game. Gajaba Regiment, they need to make sure that they finish things off with a try here. Yes, it will be a consolation try, but they will have something to show. And unfortunately, they have lost the ball back to Armored Corps, and most probably that's the last chance for them to get at least a single try.
Yes, and a glimpse of a celebration in the Armored Corps camp as referee Alexander whistles for full time, and your champions for the Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024 is the lads in white, the Armored Corps. They comfortably seal this final as a disappointing looking Gajaba Regiment outfit. They have themselves to blame in this all-important final, as you see the full-time score confirmation. Armored Corps 14, Gajaba Regiment nothing. It's been a day that nothing just worked out for them. As you see Coach Tushara Fernando being carried out by his troops in white, the Armored Corps. And post-game rituals, handshakes between both the sides, Armored Corps and Gajaba Regiment happening. It's been a game dominated by the Armored Corps, but Gajaba Regiment had opportunities to go over and get a score, but they weren't lucky enough. As you see the full-time score confirmation, and the champions of the Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024 Armored Corps take the championship home for this year's Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024. As you see the highlights of the game, it was in that number 10 jersey, Gayan Salind, who started off for the Armored Corps, and then the lone try scorer in the game, Tarinder Madhushan, just the one solitary try in this final, and with the points being added on by Gajaba Salinda with the boot managed to convert his 3 penalties out of the 4 he got. Just missed the first opportunity he got in that opening few minutes, but he missed that conversion where when Tharinder Madhushan went over the whitewashes. You see the key stats of the game. Ahmed Cobbs 14, just one solitary try in the game, and 3 penalty kicks courtesy Gajaba Salinda in that number 10 jersey for the lads in white. So it's been a game of pure dominance from the lads in white. Ahmed Cobbs. Gajaba Regiment can be happy with how they have performed throughout the tournament. Just had the off day in a very important day, but they can keep their heads up, chin up, as they will be crowned as the runners-up of this year's Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024. So that's it from us here at the Racecourse International Stadium from the Inter-Regiment Rugby Tournament 2024 final. It's me, Reshwan Pereira, together with Laxisi De Silva and the Papare production and technical team. So till we see you, it's a goodbye from us.